with us. It's been going on quite a long time, actually. And if you don't know who he is, you probably do know who he is, but don't know you know. He's written some classics, Time in a Bottle, That One, Operator. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's just one of the great singer-songwriters of our time. Sort of pop, American folk. It's just great. I don't usually recommend a greatest hits album, but get his greatest hits as an introduction. You'll love him. Hello. Obviously, all the things are coming in sideways, but I can. Boston, I can read where you're from. Saskatchewan. This really is a global sort of. I was looking at the stats of Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and I can't believe the reach. It's like 20 million people see tweets and posts. That's just the people following. They're all over the world. Just incredible. So thank you for following wherever you are. How are you doing? I obviously I've got loads of questions. I didn't ask for them now. I just get 1,000. So sorry in advance if I don't answer your question, but I'll get around to it eventually, or try again. And it's just enough to say Bournemouth, Montana, you know where we are, Azerbaijan, California, Toronto, Liverpool, Melbourne, New Jersey, China, Vancouver, Wisconsin. We tuned in, saw a fat bloke shouting place names. Anyway, cheers. Hope you had a good week. Mad times. But we're sort of getting used to them, aren't we? We evolve, we adapt. This is the new normal. Right, let's have some of your questions. Susie says, would you ever consider doing an animal documentary? Yeah, I have. For the sad animals, to raise awareness. You would be incredible, thank you. The sad animals need you. I have thought about it, but it takes an awful lot of time. And I also think there are probably better people than me to do it who have got more time. It doesn't need. It also doesn't need someone so passionate about animals. It needs someone who can be there and report almost. Do you know what I mean? A reporter will do, or a journalist, or a documentary maker will probably do a better job than me. There's some things I just couldn't cope with. I couldn't see. I'd go mental if I saw. I'd take a baseball bat to some people. So I'm probably not the best person to do a documentary. But I have one day I will. One day when my house is the sanctuary. Yeah. I realise I rub my eyes a lot on these things, right? And it's because I've always just had a bath, right? And I'm allergic to the bubble bath, right? It makes my eyes thick. And I've known that for ages, but I like bubbles. So that's like a metaphor for life, isn't it? I mean, if I gave up bubbles, I wouldn't have stingy eyes, but I like bubbles. Ollie Afterlife. Oh, here they come. You've been in a terrible shaving accident and had your face ripped off. That is a terrible shaving. What was I shaving myself with? A fucking lawnmower. Luckily, a new type of painless vegan face transplant is available. Good. I'll be honest, if I had to have a face transplant, I wouldn't worry about it. Well, one, vegan doesn't mean it's not meat in a way, because there's nothing. An ethical vegan could eat roadkill if they wanted. You know what I mean? So there's no. There, so they didn't have the animal killed to eat it. So if you could go around eating dead flies if you wanted, if you were an ethical vegan. Um, but if I had a face transplant, I'd assume it was vegan in the sense that the person whose face it was wasn't held down and have their face ripped off. I assume it was some sort of voluntary donor scheme after their death. So, oh god, like having a vegan kidney transplant. What's it made of? Beans. It won't work. It won't work. It's got to be a. It's got to be a kidney. No, this is a vegan. This is a vegan kidney. Corn. It won't work. It will not work. Right. So I've got to have a face transplant. You can only choose one of two faces, of course. Kim Jong-un or Oprah Winfrey. Right. Which one do you choose? Okay. Well, I don't know what you're thinking, but this is surprisingly easy for me. It would be Kim Jong-un. Okay? For many reasons. Many reasons. Right. But the main one is I think it would fit better. Which is a depressing thought, but that is my answer. I reckon I'm looking like Kim Jong-un. Alright? Fucking questions. Oh god. Freya, what has been the best highlight of your career? Oh god, there are so many. There's so many flying through my head now. Winning the first Golden Globe when I didn't even know what I was doing there. Was that 2003? Was it? I mean, the next day I was invited to appear in The Simpsons. I mean, that's pretty mental. Uh, yeah, so things like Simpsons, Family Guy, Curb. That's work, though. That's work. Highlight of my career. I mean, meeting David Bowie, being friends with David Bowie. Again, that's not really. That's like perks. What is the highlight of my career? Would it be a? I don't know. Do you know what? It might be doing the last Golden Globes. That 7 minutes, because it seemed to resonate, and still is. It was the fifth time, and I think it was the best time, which is always great to know. That's why people think I'm blasé with winning an award, like my 50th award. No, it's better, because it's much harder to keep up good work. So, I mean, I know it's like the first thing that comes to mind, but I'd probably say doing that fifth Golden Globes monologue, where I really put everything into it, and yeah, it's sort of it had ripples. Cheers, Annabelle. What was the first vinyl you were given, and the first vinyl you bought for yourself? Right. Well, I can't remember. There's lots of answers to that. Because I was given a load of old 45s by my brother-in-law. Well, all my brothers and sisters, older siblings. So, like from the age of 5 and 6, I was on my mum's sort of Alba. What's it called? Alba? It was like a thing you opened up. I can still remember the smell, the plastic smell. It always smelled like something was burning. I'd plug it in. So I had all those 45s, like Elvis and Bob Dylan and the Beatles. But I'll take the question like this. I'll tell you what. The first album I ever requested that I was given was Cat Stevens' Teaser in the Fire Cat. And my sister got it for my birthday. The first album I ever went into town and bought with my own money that I'd saved up for was Roxy Music, Stranded. And I remember going upstairs in the Butt Centre, Reading, to this trendy record shop. I never afford anything in there. And I bought Stranded. I felt so grown up. That was in 1973. So I was 12. So yeah, Cat Stevens' Teaser in the Fire Cat and Stranded by Roxy Music. And I still listen to both. So yeah. And I used Amazola on Cemetery Junction, because it was set in 1973 and with my memories of Reading all mixed up. So yeah, Mark Zoom. Yeah, another one. I always wake up and something horrendous is going to happen. You wake up and realise your life wasn't real. And your real life is one of the 7 dwarfs. Should be dwarves. I'm not gonna split hairs. Not when it comes. I've got bigger fish to fry. If I wake up and I find out I'm one of the 7 dwarfs, I'm not gonna go, it's dwarves. Do you know what I mean? there's more on my mind than grammar, pronunciation, syntax. Will you be satisfied with your life or not? So you're asking me, right? So I had a 20-year-long dream that I was an international superstar comedian, right? But I wake up in a log cabin with 6 other dwarves. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I'd be fucking gutted. I wouldn't be feeling happy. Oh, fucking hell. Daniel. This is fucking ridiculous. Oh, I'm worried now. I don't want to wake up. Daniel, what have you been watching recently? Any TV film recommendations? Loads. Right, okay. Just in the last half of lockdown, I've watched Caliphate. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Unorthodox. Quite a special show that. It's really intriguing. Founder. Brilliant. I've watched football docs. I got hooked on that Sunderland Till I Die, and then I watched the Tottenham one, and then I just watched the Man City one, and now I'm a football fan again. I wasn't a football fan for the last 4 years, really, just England, and it's got me back in the game. And I think you can watch these things if you're not a football fan. Like I'm not a basketball fan. I've been a couple of times and I like it, but it's bigger than that. It's a good documentary is bigger than its subject. Do you know what I mean? It has what it means to people, its place in the universe, not just it's a game or whatever. So I recommend those. Last Kingdom, pure fun, pure escapism. I love that. And of course, my current favourite that I'm bereft because I've just finished is Clem, the Dutch series, Blood Pact. It's remarkable, really, really good, and easy. It's just easy. It's so well laid out. It's just so well written and directed and acted that you're just there. It's great as well because it's not episodic at all. It's an arc. It's a long story. It's a serial, but the cliffhangers. You gotta go watch another one. It's great. You'll love it. So yes, those. Watch any of those, and I hope you enjoy them. And if they're not in English, watch them with subtitles. Watch them not in English. Okay, good. Bella, you love a bath. Just Bella's a whippet. But I hate them. So if I rolled in something smelly and turned up at your house, how would you convince me to get in the bathtub? Or would you just send me away? I wouldn't send you away, Bella, but if you stank, I probably wouldn't invite you in. This isn't a hotel. You can't just come round. It's not a DOS house. I might offer to hose you down in the garden. But I love a dog. But no, you're not gonna come in and tread fox shit all over the house. All right? You can't get to the bathroom without walking on the stair carpet. So if I had one downstairs, I'd let you get in it. But no. Could I just say that Bella's a dog, by the way? This is a mad person who's asking me. I just want to make that clear. If you've just tuned in at that moment where I'm saying, no, Bella, you can't come round to my house covered in shit and have a bath, I'm talking to a dog. Sometimes I forget. Gunnar, who's another dog. Why are people so confident in beliefs that can't be proven? I guess it's human nature. If people want something enough, they can believe it. They don't want to. I mean, if you're talking about spiritual belief, I don't think they want to think they're alone and then they won't exist or be anywhere. So I think it gets people through. Also, I think you sort of, because a child's brain is a sponge. It has to believe things of its parents and its elders unconditionally to survive. Don't go near the fire. Don't touch that snake. Don't crawl to the end of the cliff. Why not? Just don't do it. So if they tell them there's a God, then it's hard to unbelieve that because it's so ingrained and everything's based on it. Like when I don't think there's any harm with telling kids, oh, there's Pickle. Let's actually let her in. Hold on. Pickle. Hello. Hello. Do you want to say hello? Come here. Pickle, come up here. Come here. Come here. Come up here then. Pickle, don't be shy now. Do you want to say hello to Pickle? You don't want to. Look, just say a little hello. Look, like Blue Peter. Hello. Hello. Go on then. Now I've got to let you out. To see. No, don't. No, knock the light on the floor. Don't do that. Come here. Come here. Get out. Get out before. Come here. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Bye. Bye. Oh. See? That doesn't happen, does it? To newsreaders. So yeah, I think people believe what they want to believe, and also what you're told as fact when you're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As I say, you know, we tell kids there's a Santa Claus, but when they're 8 and they say, "Is there really a Santa Claus?" we go, "No, don't tell your little sister." You know what I mean? Imagine if there's like for 32-year-olds at parties saying there's a Santa Claus. You'd go, "What? There's a Santa Claus." Good. So I think, I don't see, as I say, I don't think there's anything wrong with spirituality or believing in it, and it doesn't. If it doesn't affect me, religion is when it does affect you, where religion comes along and says, "Well, it's this God that's right, everyone else is wrong, and if you do this, you'll get into heaven." When they use it as a stick to control people, but spirituality, I don't see anything wrong with it, really. I don't believe, but you know, that's because I've got no evidence. Uh, but I've never minded people believing in any god. Um, and the funny thing was that as an atheist, I want a secular society, and that is the only society that would protect the right to believe all or any religious beliefs. Because what you find is that the stronger the religious belief of one particular country and one particular god, the more prejudicial they are to other beliefs. And whereas a secular would say, we just separate church with state, believe what you want, everyone, but these are the rules of the land. It's a much fairer system. So you know, it's much more to each their own, really. Anyway, so that's why. The answer is I don't know. I don't know why. I should have been honest. I've no idea. I've no idea. People believe all sorts of stuff, don't they? Why do some people believe the Earth is flat? Because they want to. Joey, who's a cat, if you found out that you had lots of Mickey Mouse living in your house, would you call the infestation of Mickey Mouses or Mickey Mice? Again, if I look around and there's lots of Mickey Mouses, I'm not going to worry about grammar. I'm going to go, what the fuck is going on? Right? My answer would be, if it's a point of grammar, I'd say it's Mickey Mouses, because it's a label, a name, isn't it? It's not a generic term, like a mouse, singular, and mice, plural. But Mickey Mouse is his name. So it would be, if they're all him, it would be Mickey Mouses, I think. There's lots of Mickey Mouses. What if they were in more than one house? Would it be Mickey Mouses in all these houses, or Mickey Mice in all these heists? Is heist the plural of house? Stupid question, Joey. Rupert, right, last one. Yeah, let's end with a. What happens if a very stoppable force, like a fat dog, meets a very movable object like your jelly belly? Thanks, Rupert. You can talk, you fat little fucking haggis. You bloated sandbag covered in fucking carpet hair. Right. This is Rupert's real question. Why are stupid humans still testing on animals? Good question. It's cruel, doesn't work, and barbaric in this day and age. Surely there is newer ways to test products. There are. Computer testing is more accurate than animal testing. There's two reasons why animal testing goes ahead. First of all, animal testing doesn't work. 93% of all tests that work on animals then fail and or are dangerous to humans because we're so different. Even people have to have different treatments, right? And an insider who worked a lot with animal testing said all the millions of experiments they've done, all the animals they've killed and tortured, she said, all we've learned is how to cure cancer in mice. That's all they've learned. It doesn't, all the things we've discovered are despite animal testing, not because of it. And the reason it exists is one, I think early days people felt comfortable to hear tested on animals. Oh, well, if it tested on animals, it won't hurt me, which is a myth, right? But they feel comfort. That got around, and of course, some people demand it so they don't get sued, and it's like it's built a huge industry built up. But the main thing is, of course, the money. The people who breed these poor dogs, beagles, sometimes they get $2,000 for each dog to be tortured to death. Right? They're not gonna. They don't care. And there's this myth that the next thing we might learn something. We might. So these thousands and thousands of poor animals, innocent animals, tortured over there for no reason. Computer testing works, but there's no money in it because it'll destroy an industry living off this. And it preys on people's sort of hope. They think, well, my granddad's got something, so I hope they carry on testing and they might find a cure. But I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone, even people who believe in animal testing. I don't know if you went to their door and said, we've got a chance we could cure your granddad. We've just got to torture your dog to death. They wouldn't. Who would say yes? They wouldn't say yes. So they know it's ethically wrong, and it doesn't work. I mean, it's a double whammy. So it doesn't work, and I think it will be phased out soon, Roop. I think more and more people will come forward, and it will be a thing of the past. And of course, there's scales. There's scales of testing. There are tests that don't hurt the animal, and some that kill it and torture it. And, those are the ones that most animal lovers object to. But there are not all things you try on animals are, cruel and immoral. But I think in general, what we mean by animal testing are the cruel, pointless ones. It started off shit. A cat came in, then we got a bit serious. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll keep doing these while lockdown happens. I was thinking of getting this sponsored, but then I think I don't want to ruin it. And while I was researching getting it sponsored, I realised that I could actually probably make more money for myself or animals by tweeting, just do honest advertising on Instagram and whatever. So I'm looking into that, and I don't usually do it, but I'm thinking, well, someone else will do it, and they won't give it to animals. Probably can pay their fucking taxes. So at least I pay my tax and give some money to animals. I don't know. I might do it, I might not. But I'll let you know. And thanks for supporting everything I tweet about animals, and from a lost dog to trying to end animal testing. You're all lovely. Thank you. That was fun. I hope I'm not dreaming. I hope I'm not in a log cabin with 6 other dwarves. Again, who just tuned in. Thanks very much. Get your street dog. I've heard a rumor there they might be doing this in Australia. So we're taking over the world and we're saving dogs whenever we can. And I scruffled about 50 dogs today, and nearly all of them are rescues. So it's great that we're making a difference. Thank you. Be nice to animals. Have a great week. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.